Hey, it's me, Nico, I'm back again. And you know what all Mario games have in common? Well, in the games, you fight... That made a lot of noise. In the games, you fight some bosses. And there are good bosses and bad bosses. And today, we'll check out the best boss in every single Mario game. Well, let's be honest. The first Super Mario Bros. Isn't actually known for its boss battles. Especially considering that there's only one, but repeated 8 times. At the end of each world, there's a castle you visit, some fireballs to dodge, and eventually you'll reach this bridge where you'll fight your boy Bowser. But here's the harsh truth. Only the final Bowser in World 8 is actually Bowser. All of the other Bowser fights are actually decoys. If you defeat those Bowsers, they'll turn into a Goomba, a Koopa Troopa, a Beetle, a Spiny, and more. So because of that fact, the best boss fight has to be the one against the actual real Bowser. Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels is also a game where the only boss fight is Bowser. But you know what? The fight in World D is actually pretty cool, because in order to reach the final boss, you'll need to go through many challenges, including a fake Bowser, a Hammer Bro, and some fireballs. And in order to defeat the boss, you have to dodge all of those hammers and go in between the blocks and Bowser. This is actually pretty difficult, but it's kind of fun, to be honest. Super Mario Bros. 2 probably has one of the most diverse casts of bosses to fight. Of course, Birdo is the main enemy you'll fight a bunch of times, but there's also Mauser, Tri-Clyde, Fry Guy, Claw Grip, but the final boss, Wart, remains my favorite. This Frog King spits bubbles at you, and you have to catch some onions, some turnips, and some veggies to throw them at him when he opens his mouth. Yup, you have to force feed him some veggies if you want to kill him. That's hilarious. With only 12 levels to choose from, I wasn't expecting Super Mario Land on the Game Boy to have that many boss fights, but believe it or not, there's 5 total in the game. Most of those bosses can be easily destroyed with the Super Ball, or even by pressing a switch to kill them, kinda like what Mario does to Bowser in the first game, but one boss that cannot be destroyed like that is the final one, Tatanga. The boss fight takes place in the air, and you have to shoot him down aboard your plane. Tatanga will shoot back many bullets at you, and dodging them all is pretty stressful, but oh so fun. So those special and different bosses were not that present in Super Mario Bros. 3, cause all of the boss fights here are against the Koopalings. I fought them all to try to find my favorite one, but to be honest, they're all pretty similar. You dodge their magic wands attacks, you jump on their heads, and that's it. But there's another boss in this game that comes back to fight you over and over again, improving after each fight, and I named Boom Boom the Mad Lad. I love fighting Boom Boom, and to me, this game makes him shine quite a lot. Like, the first few fights are pretty basic, Boom Boom just moves left and right and jumps sometimes, but after a couple battles, Boom Boom will grow wings and learn to fly. Like, you fight him 14 times in this game, but all 14 times are a delight. Super Mario World is back with the Koopalings again, but at least this time they all have some sort of gimmick. Some of them fight on a boat above lava, others can walk on walls and ceilings, but all of these skills have nothing on the final boss, Bowser. The intro song when Bowser joins you on the battlefield sets the mood for this epic fight. In order to defeat my man, you have to throw some Mecha Koopas on his head by timing your throw just right. Every 3 hits, Bowser will retreat and Peach will throw a mushroom your way to help you out. Every phase against Bowser is different too, as the second one involves some big bowling balls, and the final one involves a very angry Bowser trying to crush you to bits. This fight is fun from beginning to end. Super Mario Land 2 features a bunch of different bosses, including a big bird, a sewer rat, a witch, 3 little pigs, and even Tatanga from the first Super Mario Land game makes a return. But all of these guys have nothing on the final boss, Wario. Yep, Wario is the big bad guy in this game, and he will use the same weapons Mario uses in order to fight you. The carrot will allow Wario to glide in the air, and the fire flower will allow him to shoot fire your way. This is by far the most original fight we've seen so far. a boss that uses your own weapons against you, now this is epic. And when you defeat Wario, well, he turns into a baby, starts crying, and jumps down the window. So dramatic. Okay, I know this next one will be purely nostalgic, but out of all boss fights in Super Mario 64, I think my favorite remains the first one, King Bob-omb. This fight is so iconic because in order to fight the king, you first have to climb to the top of the mountain, which now I can pretty much do with my eyes closed, but back then was quite the journey. Like, don't get me wrong, I love spitting Bowser by his tail and throwing him on those spiky bumps, but it's just not the same as picking up the king and throwing him back down. I also love that you can pick him up and throw him off the mountain for him to only jump and come back. Or you can just carry him yourself down the mountain. It's pointless, but it's pretty fun! There's a bunch of iconic bosses in Super Mario Sunshine, including everyone's favorite, Petey Piranha. But you know what? This ain't the fight I chose for my list. I'm also not gonna choose the fight against Bowser in his bathtub, despite how goofy and original it is. No, I'm going to choose my boy King Boo, that you fight in the casino basement. Reaching him is already an achievement in itself, but in order to defeat Boo, you have to spin the Wheel of Fortune and hope you're going to get the jackpot, which in this case is a bunch of fruits and veggies. When you get that, well, grab the red pepper and throw it in Boo's mouth to burn him down. Yep, another boss we have to defeat using veggies. Interesting. New Super Mario Bros. On the DS features so many different bosses, like there's no Koopalings or Boom Boom in this one, and that's actually a pretty good thing. Monty Tank is going to be my pick, as this fight is very original and super entertaining. This Monty Mole drives around in a tank and throws bombs your way, all of this while his tank shoots bullet bills at you. Avoiding all of that ain't easy, and each time you jump on his head, well, the tank will get taller and taller, which makes it even more difficult to reach the top. All in all, this boss fight is original and very cool. There's a crap ton of bosses in Super Mario Galaxy, but for me, none of them are as cool as Boulder Geist. This scary looking monster is made out of black cloud, but also is surrounded by pointy rocks, forming some sort of spiked helmet. In order to defeat him, you have to dodge the boulders he throws your way and wait for a black boulder to hit the floor. The black boulders will turn into Boo bombs that you can actually swing around to break the outer shell of the boss and reveal his weak point. Obviously you have to do this a couple times, and eventually he'll even grow boulder hands to punch you to outer space, but if you dodge all of his attacks, you'll be all good. So yeah, New Super Mario Bros. We decided to take away all of the original boss fights to replace them with the Koopalings. Which isn't that bad, don't get me wrong, but it's a bit less entertaining to me. Thankfully, the final fight against Bowser brings back the magic. The first phase is pretty boring, as it's just a repeat of the classic Super Mario Bros. Boss fight, but after that, Kamek will turn Bowser into a giant, and you'll need to run away in this platforming challenge. Dodging the fireballs and getting to the end without dying is pretty scary, but super satisfying. Oh hey, it's New Super Mario Bros. 2, and what I said about the last game pretty much applies here too. I'm not gonna pick any Koopalings because they're not that fun to fight. The final Bowser fight, on the other hand, is really cool, as once again, it's more of a platforming level than it is a fight. You'll have to dodge Bowser's attacks, fireballs and other hazards until you get to the very top and press the switch to beat him. It's actually pretty entertaining, not gonna lie. Just like the first game in the series, Super Mario Galaxy 2 does feature a crap ton of bosses to choose from, and after replaying it a couple times, I realized that my favorite one was definitely Bowser Jr.'s Doomsday Machine. I mean, look at the size of this thing. It's a giant tower that can shoot electric balls, and that features fire bars to protect it from enemies. And let's defeat it. Wait a minute, it's not a tower, it's a freaking tank! Oh my gosh, it's even better! In order to reach the top, you'll absolutely need to use the Cloud Mario power-up, and being one of my favorite one of all time, it's a very fun boss fight. So here's the thing, New Super Mario Bros. U is once again pretty similar to the previous two games in the franchise, meaning that we'll fight Boom Boom and the Koopalings over and over again. Once again, I will be picking the final Bowser fight, as to me, it's the most original one in the game. This time you'll fight Bowser and Junior at the same time. So when Junior attacks you using the clown car, well, just ground pound him, steal the car, and then fly above Bowser to hurt him. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Super Mario 3D Land doesn't feature that many bosses, but that's okay, because each boss is fun to fight. But I do think my favorite one will be Bowser once again. The fight is some sort of level in which Bowser tries to block you by shooting fireballs, throwing barrels, and doing so much more actually. You'll have to jump and bounce to the top of the stage if you want to make it alive, which is actually easier said than done. My favorite boss in Super Mario 3D World has to be Histocrat. First off, it's an original boss, which is always welcomed. No more Koopalings, please. Then, the music is a banger and makes me want to go back and fight these guys over and over again. In order to defeat Histocrat, you have to jump on his head, which sounds simple enough, but actually isn't. Histocrat is too tall for us to reach, meaning we'll have to jump on those plates if we want to reach the top. Sometimes some of those snakes will try to eat you, so you'll also have to avoid them. Oh, and did I mention the fireballs falling from the sky? No? Well, now I did. Don't touch them. For Super Mario Odyssey, I had tons of cool boss fights to choose from, but my pick will be the Robo Brood. Hear me out. Throughout the entire game, you fight these bunnies, so you kinda get to know and hate them a bit. Then, in their last attempt to stop you from going to the moon to rescue Peach, they decide to combine into a giant robot whose only purpose is to kill you. These guys are dedicated! Climbing to the top of this giant robot will not be simple, but thankfully, with the help of Pokio, you'll be able to poke your way to the top and defeat these guys. Nice! Look, you can't mention Bowser's Fury without mentioning the epic fights against Mega Fury Bowser. After all, it's the main novelty of the game. You turn into a Godzilla-sized Mario and you get to punch Bowser in the face. If I had to pick only one fight, which I do, I would pick the fight against Silver Mega Fury Bowser, a fight you can only unlock by getting all 100 shines. Look at this sexy shiny Bowser. To defeat him, you'll need to use your claw swipes, throw stuff his way, and all of this while dodging his mini attacks, which is actually super fun. So, do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, and bye bye!